Hey guys, I'm back to review here for a new movie review. Now, this came out last month, but I'm just now seeing it over. I just saw this film over the weekend and I cannot wait to talk about it. It's everywhere, everything, everywhere, all at once, starring Michelle Yeoh. I believe I pronounced that right. She starred in Crazy Rich Asians and she played the auntie in Shang-Chi Legend of the Ten Rings. And oh my god, am I could not wait to talk about this film. Okay, first of all, a she plays Evelyn. And first of all, let me say this is an A24 film. It's mostly Asian. It's an Asian cast, but this she plays Evelyn, who is a mother and mother to Joy and a wife to I'm blanking on his name, Wong. Oh, Wayman Wong, and they own a laundromat, and it turns out that her husband is actually before I get to what it's about, she's in a terrible marriage and she basically feels trapped in trapped her whole life. So this film is kind of figuring out different scenarios of where she would be if she didn't have a family or if she didn't end up in the relationship that she was in. But this film is, and her daughter Joy is gay, and she's ashamed of that. Which, I mean, in this film, she's basically, I don't, you go back and forth whether you should feel sorry for her or whether you want to cuss her out because she is in major dick in this film. But there is a lot of growth from the beginning to where she ends up where she ends up at towards the end. And in this film, her it turns out that her husband is a her husband from another universe is basically like a CIA agent sort of thing. It's kind of like Men in Black, but her husband from another universe is like a dimension jumper, and they jump through different dimensions and go through different multiverses to go through different multiverses to basically try to defeat Jobu and try to stop Jobu from killing Evelyn because after Evelyn for some reason we don't know yet. But has to train. Evelyn has to train and learn how to dimension jump from the other dimension. And the visual effects in this film is freaking awesome for A24 film. They really did do a lot more than I thought they were going to. And usually A24 films are on big budgets or anything, but this film was, I mean, the humor was great. The action scenes were really good. The Like I said, the visual effects were great. I enjoyed the cinematography. I was not expecting Jamie Lee Curtis or Jamie Lee Curtis or Jenny Slate to be in this film. They are in this film, and they are hilarious. And their confrontations with Michelle Yeoh's character Evelyn are to freaking die for. This film puts you in the perspective of Evelyn, and it's like a roller coaster ride that you just don't want to get off of. I mean, by the time the film ended, I wanted to watch it all over again, and I actually pre-ordered the film because it comes out on DVD sometime this week. So yes, and this is one of the, when it comes to time traveling and multiverse, that can get old really quickly, but it depends on how you do it. If it's done really well, you can tell a great story with it. And this is what Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness should have been. You thought with Multiverse of Madness, with the trailers, you assume that it was going to be all these dimension jumping and learning more about different dimensions, and but we didn't get that at all. We just got one dimension, and it was the Illumi- Illuminati, and we rarely got to see the evil Strange in that universe. But Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness should have been what this film was. It should have been what Spider Man Into the Spider Verse was. Should have been what Spider Man No Way Home was. And all of those films that I just named did a way better job at the focusing on dimension jumping and different alternate universes and what their characters are like in those universes, as opposed to the main dimension or whatever. But this Evelyn in this film, she's extremely homophobic. She is a terrible mother, but within the film, you there are different aspects of her life that she questions because she never knows it. It's a what if scenario. This whole movie to me is a what if scenario. Her what if she would have listened to her father and not married her husband? What if she had a straight daughter? What if she, there were different way there are different scenarios that could have gone different ways if she would have paved her own path, because she spent so much of her life pleasing her husband and her father that she never got to enjoy her time by herself, or she never got to make a living on her own. So she's miserable, and she takes a lot of her anger out on her daughter Joy, who turns out to be the evil Jobu. And I was really actually rooting for Jobu in this film there because her reasoning for not liking her mom was totally understandable. But yes, this film is definitely one of my favorite A24 films officially. This had awesome direction, awesome cinematography. I cannot wait to watch it again. And if you haven't seen it, you need to watch it because it will have you laughing, crying. I mean, it's spectacular all the way through. But with that being said, these are my ups and downs for this film. And also, my star rating, I'm going to have to give this 4 stars. It's awesome. It's a joyride. Like I said, it's a roller coaster that you don't want to get off of. Michelle Yeoh should win a Oscar for this film, and this should win Best Picture for next year. So I cannot wait to see what the future has for this cast, because this cast really was great. And the whole film itself was a whole mind trip. But yes, that's my opinion on the film. But let me know what you guys thought of this film. But don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, peace.